Welcome to AQS Guild Buzz with Bonnie. This is where I talk to some guild members in guilds all across the United States, and we're coming to you from here in the AQS studio in Paducah, Kentucky, also now known as Quilt City, USA. So I want to welcome today the Capital Quilters Guild from Raleigh, North Carolina, and my guests today are Alma Mellish, who is the president of the guild, right, Alma?
Yes.
Okay, and then we have Jatko, who is in charge of fundraising. That's always the hard job. You must be good at that. And then Diana Jones is one of the board members. And welcome, ladies. We can't wait to just talk and find out more about your guild.
Thank you.
Well, so let's start out, and why don't you tell us how many members you have in your guild and when your guild started?
Our guild was formed in 1978.
Ooh, a long time.
A long time. In 1979, the guild actually incorporated, and many people may know Jane Hall, who is a internationally known judge, and she's been a quilter for many, many years, and she has been a member of our guild since just a couple of years after it was formed. So she's been a member for close to 40 years.
Wow.
And we are so blessed to have her and her knowledge to help guide us as we get further along in quilting. She's been a real inspiration to us all.
Well, it always helps when you have someone that has that expertise that can pass it on, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And last year we had about 215 members in our guild. This year with the pandemic, we got a little bit of a late start on our membership drive, but we, currently I think have about 125, and they're still coming in. So we're hoping to get back up to speed, as soon as we can. But we've always had a very active guild. We do a lot of charity work.
Well, and so I know just from looking at your website that you do a lot of comfort quilts. So tell us some of the groups that you make quilts for in your community.
We make quilts for the neonatal units in 2 of our hospitals in the area. We make them for Safe Child. We make them for the hospice, for nursing homes, for Interact, which is a place of refuge for families that are in crisis. And we have social workers that have come up to us and asked us if we could make some for people that they have and whatnot. So we probably make a little over 1,000 quilts a year that we give out.
Wow. That's very impressive. And quilters all across this country are making hundreds and thousands of quilts. I bet you've been making some masks during this coronavirus too, right?
We've made over 1,000 masks, probably closer to 1,500 that we've given out. We've given them to some of the hospitals. We've given them to schools, to nursing homes, to individuals. Anybody who needs them, we've been donating them to them. We don't charge anything there. It's always a donation from us.
Well, and it's a good thing that we all have big stashes of fabric, isn't it?
Not as big as it was before.
Yes. All right, now our program today is sponsored by Handy Quilter, and they're going to be giving away a sewing machine. We're going to take a minute to just hear a word from Handy Quilter, and when we come back, we're going to talk about what your guild is doing during the coronavirus.
Hey, it's Kim Sandberg of Handy Quilters Watch and Learn. We're offering a special deal for Friends of Bonnie's Guild Buzz in North Carolina on frame accessories. Visit your local retailer or handyquilter.com for more details.
Okay, so we're back, and we certainly want to thank Handy Quilter for providing this program today. And so now let's talk a little bit about what's going on with your guild during the virus, where we can't meet face to face. What are you doing?
Well, a lot of what we did before we're doing now. We're doing, what we used to do is have a President's Challenge, where every year at the beginning of the guild year, the president comes up with some kind of challenge. A lot of times we'll buy fabric, you have to put the fabric in it, or a block or something else. We're still doing that. And as far as picking the winner, we're going to have them send in pictures. They can either put them on a Facebook, they can send them into our mailbox, whatever they want to do. And then the board will pick out the winner and they'll get a prize for that. We're still doing our block party, and it'll be basically the same way. They'll go out onto our Facebook account, which is a personal account just for the guild members, and they'll go out, they'll put the block on there. Whoever wants to make it will do it. They'll let the block party people know, and then at the end of a month, they do a drawing. Whoever wins all the blocks, the people that made the blocks will just mail them to whoever the winner is. We'll do the same thing with our secret society. The way that works is 1 month we did aprons. So everybody makes an apron for somebody else. Like they put us in forms for us to fill out and tell what kind of apron you want and everything else. And the person in charge of it, they match that form up with somebody else so that you make an apron for the person an apron that they would like. Or they've done purses, they've done pillows, anything. Each month it's something different, and that'll be the same thing. At the end of the month, when we tell you who it is that you made that for, you can get together with them and give it to them. You can mail it to them however you want to do it. We're still doing the same thing with our comfort quilts. We have pickups at different places. We've had them at my house. We've had them at the VP's house. We've had them in church parking lots. We've done the same thing with our membership. We've had them in front of the different quilt shops and whatnot. We're pretty much doing a lot of what we did before. The only thing we're not doing is actually having in-person meetings where we can go into the room and meet that way.
Well, you know, where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Yeah,
We can always figure it out.
Well, somebody suggested Zoom, but I'm not sure if I want 200 people on a Zoom chat.
Well, and I think some of the guilds have been breaking it down and doing it in smaller groups, which probably is a little more easy to handle. So you might think about doing that, where you could just do some smaller groups. Now I'm seeing this beautiful quilt hanging behind you, and I bet Sue Ann knows about that quilt. Is that your raffle quilt?
That is our raffle quilt. It is called Indigo Dreams. It is a separate fundraiser for the guild. We usually have them on years that we have a quilt show, and we're trying to have an annual quilt show. Our quilt show was scheduled. We had a different quilt that was called Hearts in Flight. And a week before our quilt show in March is when our governor issued stay-at-home orders. But we went ahead and had the drawing anyway. And then we posted the drawing on our closed Facebook page as a live feed. I had my grandchildren pull the winning ticket out of the fishbowl. So this is our current raffle quilt, and we are having and making plans for a quilt show in March on the 19th and the 20th of 2021. I just spoke to the people at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds here in Raleigh. We are a go. The 50% rule for capacity means we can have 650 people at a time in the very large building. It's the Carscott building on the campus. It's going to be a judged quilt show. We're hoping for 200 quilts. There'll also be vendors. We're also going to have a boutique sales. We haven't done that in other quilt shows, but we're thinking that might be something. We've had people come up at other quilt shows to ask, do you have quilts for sale? But we thought we would have some handmade items for it as well. So this is my publicity plug. It's March 19th and 20th of 2021 at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds.
All right. Well, and I hope that works out for you. You know, we all need to make sure you all are wearing your masks, and I have my mask right here too. We need to make sure we try to get this virus under control better, don't we?
We stay safe, yes.
Yes. Well, I want to tell you about how your guild members and everyone can go register for a free sewing machine that Handy Quilter is giving away. Most of us know that they do long arm machines, but a lot of people don't know that they do home sewing machines as well. And so they're giving away an HQ Stitch 710, and it's a piecing and applique machine that has 170 stitches. It has 9mm stitch width, a knee lift, and it has a value of $3,495. So this is a really nice sewing machine. And somebody's going to win it at the end of this group of our Guild Buzz programs. Handy Quilter will be giving that away. And so I want you to go to quiltweek.com/guildbuzz, and if you'll scroll down, you'll see a register button. Also, while you're there, please fill out the survey. We've done just a 5-question survey on online classes. And if you're not an AQS member, you can certainly join there, and we have a special fee and 2 free gifts if you join with us through that link. And so be sure you go to quiltweek.com/guildbuzz, and you'll find the registration for the giveaway, the survey, and also how to join AQS and get a couple free prizes. I want to thank you ladies for joining me today. It's always fun to learn about all the things that everyone's doing out there, and thank you to your guild members who are providing so many quilts to your community. And we will plan to be back here next Wednesday again at 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And be sure to wear your masks so that we all can stay safe and quilt on. Thank you.
Bye.